We're back, the goods, and we got our Super Bowl podcast for you. Last game of the year. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this line has moved a few times since it's opened up. Chiefs are favored a little bit, Eagles are favored a little bit, and now the Eagles are set at -1.5. The over-under is 50.5. That also moved up, I believe, 1 or 2 points. So I was looking up the stats for this game, and I really didn't want to dig into them too much just because this is a Super Bowl. Like, I feel like stats don't mean as much now because it's just like the best team's going to win. But I did find something interesting on the over-under. So the last 5 games that both of these teams have played, last 5 games in general, not against each other, the last 5 games that both of these teams have played, the under has hit in 4 of the last 5. But when they play each other, for the last 5, it went over. So that kind of made me a little mixed up on the over-under feeling. Uh, I'll just start off. I'll kick it to you, JP. Tell me what you think.
Well, boys, I think my man Carl Cheffers is refereeing this game, and there's a few things to know about him. This will be the third Super Bowl that my man referees in. The first one was the 28-3 Brady comeback against Atlanta, pretty epic as we know. The second happened to be Brady blowing out the Chiefs, and so this will be his third. What is important to know is that the Chiefs are actually 8-2 straight up when he calls a playoff game, and the Eagles are 6-8. And I think the most important stat to note, and I think this ties in a little bit to what you were talking about, the under hits actually 11-1 in the last 12 games he's refereed.
Interesting.
So I will be taking, that's my first of, I think, 9 or 10 bets I'll disclose on today's episode, is I will take the under at 50.5. The odds are -105 for that. Another last interesting stat about the referee is the underdogs against the spread are 63%. So that means Kansas City. And that'll be my second bet of the show. Kansas City money line 104. And Josh, what do you think, man?
Well, I think that this is going to be one of the best Super Bowls we've seen in years, dating back to that Rams-Titans game in 2003. Or 1999. Rams-Titans 99. Well, as far as the betting standpoint goes, this is where I think last week we dominated. We really dominated. We called everything out. We were correct. And I think I'm correct when I'm about to say this. It's not going to be popular. I don't want to get booed. But I think you stay the fuck away from this game and enjoy it for what it is. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I don't think either side of the coin, if you end up having action one way or the other, this entire Super Bowl, you're going to be stressed out. And I think the regular season, now with Brady retiring and some of these older players moving teams, I think next year is going to be a great opportunity to make money on a week-in, week-out basis. This is not the game that I would put a wager on, period. Unless you just like a coin flip gamble. And that's what it is. So diving a little bit deeper into what I'm saying, Eagles defense against the Chiefs offense, that's going to be the name of the game. On offense, the Eagles actually should have an advantage. I don't think the Chiefs can actually go pound for pound. The Eagles should be the favorite team, but honestly, it's such a coin flip to the point where you cannot wager on either team. This is going to tell us all we need to know about Jalen Hurts. You've aced every test so far. You had a great regular season. You're dominating the playoffs. This is where it gets real right now. And I think if you bet the Chiefs, you're going to be worried about Hurts and the Eagles the entire game. Then if you flip it up and you bet on the Eagles, this could be a game where just Mahomes just shows you how great of a quarterback he actually is. That's it. It just comes down to Hurts versus Mahomes. I think Hurts is if Mahomes is 1A, Hurts might be 2B. Maybe at his maximum ceiling, he's 1B. But overall, the Eagles I think the Eagles have a better team, and I think that the coaching's right there. Andy Reid, you can't bet against. He's going to really have some plays that you haven't seen all year. So, like, the Chiefs are going to have the upper edge. I mean, we watched that game going further. Is that we watched that Bengals-Chiefs game, and Mahomes was banged up, and they were able to win that game. Yeah. Mahomes should be healthy. I don't think you can bet against Mahomes, and I don't think you can bet against the Eagles.
I agree. Dude, I like what you said. I think this is about as close of a game as that we'll see all year. Obviously, I think a lot of these teams are anticipated to make it this far. And it really is a coin flip either way, really. I think for fun, just a reminder to everybody listening out there to gamble responsibly. If you're in a position where you're worried about losing money, stay away from this game, like Josh said. But I think that a lot of fun can be had here. What do you think, Josh?
I think a lot of fun can be had in this game. I know that there is a ridiculous amount of options to bet for these games. And if anybody has any of the betting apps, specifically FanDuel, I was checking out, they have literally probably about 100 to 200 options to bet on.
Yeah, I saw. I was coming through.
Hey, honey, grab my wallet. Josh convinced me to get in on this game.
It's a ridiculous amount, and so many of the options are set at like even money minus 110. It's ridiculous to pass. So one of my favorite bets that I'm going to go off of is another Travis Kelce touchdown. It's minus 120 right now, so it's not even juiced like it usually is because he's usually at like minus 150 ish.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce touchdown, I feel like that's just like it's just a given that that's going to happen. He's been shown. So at to end the season, he didn't get a touchdown for like a weeks upon weeks. I believe 4 or 5 of them. And now that the playoffs have started, he's been back into his prime. And also, FanDuel has a bet to where he can get 25 yards in each half. It's minus 135. I believe that's an easy one for him too. Obviously, Mahomes favors him more than anybody else on the field, and 25 yards each half. That's 50 total. That's already over. That's already not even hitting his over on yardage. So I believe that those are two nice, easy, not too juiced up bets to take.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
I think I was looking at what his player prop for receiving yards. I think is set at 79.5. Is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, I like those two right off the jump. And for anybody making parlays, Mahomes 2 touchdown passes is minus 200. I believe that's an easy one to throw in a parlay too. Mahomes, I mean, they don't get rushing touchdowns like the Eagles do. So I was gonna say Hurts 2 touchdowns, but they run the ball way too much. So you cannot count.
While we're on the subject of anytime touchdown scorer, I actually went ahead and wrote down all the odds for these. So I saw Kelce at minus 125, Hurts at plus 100, Pacheco plus 110. Interesting that Pacheco is the third highest chance to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Sanders plus 120, A.J. Brown plus 120, Devontae Smith 165, Goddard plus 175, McKinnon plus 175, my boy Juju plus 300. And Mahomes is plus 500 anytime touchdown. So I like 3 of those guys. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. He's got to get one, man. He's had kind of a quiet postseason, don't you think, guys? I mean, he looked visibly upset in that New York game. Really wasn't involved. Kind of quiet follow-up last week. I think he's just eventually got to get back in the mix. We saw him and Hurts just be electric the last back half of the season, torching defenses. I like him and Devontae Smith anytime touchdown scores. And I got Jared McKinnon on the other side, plus 175.
Yeah, and see, I was looking at Hurts or Sanders. I feel like one of them are going to score. I just don't know which one. So I didn't make a pick for that just because I don't want to give the wrong one. But I feel like
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, just the way the Eagles run the ball and the amount of rushing touchdowns they've had. And
that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think about the game script, guys? Like, are we going to see another heavy rushing touchdown game out of Philadelphia, or are they going to kind of put the ball in the rope a little bit and throw some passing touchdowns for what feels like the first time in 4 or 5 years?
They're gonna try to keep Mahomes off the field any way possible. So there's going to be a heavy run attack, but. You know what? The Chiefs are notorious for having their defensive linemen play like a 5-2, and so their linebackers are athletic enough to go between defensive line and linebackers. So like, there's going to be basically like whenever we were talking about that the Dallas Niners game with the tight ends being open, this is actually going to be a game where the athletic linebackers are going to be able to stay on the tight end a little bit tighter. So what you will have is opportunities on the outside over the top. So you'll see some deep plays. Off of play action more so from the Eagles. Actually, with Mahomes being healthy, you're going to see a lot of play action. You'll see it all in this game. That's for damn sure. The big prop bet that I didn't hear you say, and I think it's a no-brainer no matter what, no matter who is in charge of this decision, Red Gatorade. That is my lock of the whole entire day. It's the year of MJ. It's 2023. Whoever's in charge of decision-making, the Chiefs could win it. We're going to have Red Gatorade. Anything other than Red Gatorade does not make any sense whatsoever. And there you go, red Gatorade. If you can get that red Gatorade, you'll win some money.
I
Yeah,
like
and
the.
I was looking at the coin toss too, and I want to go tails. It's like even money for either
Tails
side that
never
you want.
fails.
Yeah, so I wanted to go tails, but I didn't pick that as like a big bet that I have. But so another interesting one I have though is Miles Sanders, 25 rushing yards in each half. I believe, like he just said, they're going to want to keep Mahomes off the field. They're going to want to run the ball. 25 rushing yards in each half. That's like literally 12 and a half each quarter, 12 to 13 yards in each quarter. That's plus 200. I believe that can be very feasibly done by Miles Sanders. And a decent, a nice one that I looked at. So both teams to score one touchdown and one field goal in each half is plus 1700. I believe that that's very good odds for how much these teams get in the scoring position. And I think that that can, not that that's a lock or anything, obviously, it's plus 1700, but just to get one touchdown and one field goal in each half from both teams, I believe that that's a nice number.
Well, good numbers there. My one buddy said that he'd pay like $1 million to sleep with Rihanna who's doing the halftime show. My maximum number was $9 a month for life. What's your number for a month if you had to pay a set amount to hook up with Rihanna? What's the number there, boys? That's what I want to know.
Boys, it's got to be free. It's got to be genuine. It's
Get the fuck out.
we're not in Vegas here, man. We got.
Dude, come on, dude. Prostitution's legal everywhere, dude. It's just a matter of who gets caught doing it and who doesn't. $9 a month off every paycheck for the rest of my life. That's my max for Rihanna. What's yours?
I feel like that's not going to get you where you need to be.
I don't even want to hook up with her. Actually, I'd rather her pay me $9 a month. I don't know where that's been.
Well, I don't think that that's going to happen either.
Yeah, but no, seriously, if you, it's like a Netflix bill. Like, you know what I mean? I have 9 as my maximum bid that I'd put out. And what would be your
I'm not
maximum
bidding
number?
anything on that, boys. Like, you gotta say this is all you.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
take-
Rihanna hot? That's the question. Okay, not how much would you pay to hook up with her, but is she hot? I don't know. I don't know the allure.
I think so.
Back and forth.
I think she's
But yeah, so my favorite touchdown is obviously Travis Kelce. I'm not really, I don't have an exact winner pick as of right now. It is hard to go against Mahomes, but I feel like if they're going to get beat, this Eagles team is in the best position to do it right now. The over under, I did favor the under originally, and then I was mixed up by the stats I looked up, so I wanted to go over, but I might go back under now after you said about the officiating crew.
Good call.
But yeah, the Travis Kelce touchdown, and then like I said, if anybody's making parlays, I believe that Mahomes 2 touchdowns. That's an easy giver right there for any parlay, and that's only minus 200, so that's not much for any parlay.
Before we
Yeah.
move off of the anytime touchdown score topic, I don't know if anybody else has seen this out there, but at plus 2,900 odds, you can bet any offensive lineman to score one plus receiving touchdown. And how cool would a parlay of both the Kelsey brothers to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Like, I just think that would be a really fun thing to see.
I feel like if that happened, then there might be some scripts being put out.
Yeah.
There might be some scripts for all this stuff.
Well, the
So-
script is imagine the script whenever Mahomes gets the script that he's going to marry that brick girl. Oh, she's gross. She's so disgusting. That's all I can't stop thinking about for the Super Bowl. Mahomes should be dating a supermodel. That girl's gross. I wouldn't look at her twice if she was naked. I honestly wouldn't look twice.
Speaking of
Well-
Mahomes, I think a lock bet that I like for this game is Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns at minus 210. That's something that I've got put on the card for sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parlay pieces, honestly. I mean, that's probably hands down my favorite parlay piece. If you're starting a parlay, you might as well just throw that on instantly.
What do you guys think about rushing yards in this game? I know you talked about how you think the Eagles are going to come out with a rushing attack and kind of try to slow this game down. But we've seen them utilize Sanders and Scott and even Kenneth Gainwell. As far as rushing yard prop bets go, Sanders' line is set at 61.5 right now, and I'm actually gonna take the under on that. That's currently sitting at minus 114. I also have Mahomes under 19.5 yards at 125.
I like your under bet for Sanders. I like Mahomes over. Mahomes is going to get 30 or 40 yards. And he's going to have to run for his life in certain points because the Chiefs definitely could have got him hurt last week against the Bengals in certain situations. I mean, Hubbard's a beast on the defensive line, but the Eagles have a really good defensive line too.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles had the most sacks all year long, so I definitely think there's going to be times where Mahomes will have to take off. But I feel like that's known already, so they'll probably have a linebacker spying him the entire time. So I don't know if he'll rip a nice long run or anything. I feel like he might just get a couple yards and then sacked or tackled right away. So I don't know.
True.
I don't know how I feel about the Mahomes rushing yard situation because I know he's going to have to run. I just don't know if he's going to be able to pick up yards after that run because you know he's able to do it. So you're going to want to have this spy on him the entire time.
Well, Josh, the one thing his arm's so dangerous with the sidearm throws, like they're gonna try to defend it, and they're gonna think. I think he's gonna get like one big scamper for like 30 or 40 yards at one point in this game. Sorry, JP, go ahead.
No, I can see it honestly. I mean, like you said, Philadelphia does have one of the best secondaries in the league. Jalen Hurts' rushing prop is set at 49.5. You guys think he goes over that?
I don't know. I don't like that one.
What's the total?
I'm staying away from his line.
No, what's the total?
49.5
Rushing yards.
rushing for Jalen Hurts. I'm staying away from that because really I think that's kind of right around where I think he'll be. Is right around
I go over confidently with that too. He's gonna have to extend plays a lot in this game with his legs. They're gonna have to give AJ Brown some coverage on the outside. We just talked about the tight ends. Both the tight ends are gonna be taken off the table, even though how good Kelsey is. I think Kelsey's gonna have a really like maybe a 4-catch, 50 yards, maybe under 50 yards, definitely under 60, 100% under 65 yards. I don't know what prop bet. I have Kelsey also under 7 catches. I definitely see him finishing with like 4 or 5 catches.
Just back on the script of the game, Josh, I think you hit it on the head. You know, I think it's not going to be a shootout, pass-heavy attack like some people probably hope for. I do like the under, as I said before, and weirdly enough, like receiving yards, I'm really not sure how this game goes for player props for that. I do have a parlay built, however, for the Eagles' big three receiving: Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and AJ Brown. All 40+ receiving yards, parlay at 1.8 plus 118.
And see, I like the tight end plays personally this week because I mean Kelsey is Kelsey no matter what. He always does something. He always gets the job done. Plus, he's been doing a lot of starting to play off blocking and then goes out for his route,
Yep.
which leaves him open right away usually, or has a linebacker on him who can't keep up with him. So, and then Goddard, that's my sleeper touchdown. Like, because they're going to be wanting to cover Smith, they're going to be wanting to cover Brown. Goddard is my if they're passing the ball, Goddard's my sleeper pick.
I love the Dallas Goedert touchdown. Good pick.
But yes, I like the tight end plays personally.
Now, this Super Bowl in particular, here's a couple other things. I'm being serious too. We're done talking about Rihanna and the girls and all that and stuff, or Beyonce, whoever it is. I don't even know the difference between Beyonce and Rihanna. So, I know Beyonce's married to Jay-Z. Okay. Now, there's 2 big questions I have for you guys. Number 1, if we're talking about the over-under for the anthem, I don't care what the number is. Any book, if you can get the over on the anthem, I think with COVID being over and like the hype of this game and stuff, whoever is going to do the anthem is going to try and let this linger more so than any other year, like taking pauses.
I agree. I think the overhits on the anthem. I saw some stat that was pretty wild. The singer for the anthem this year is a country singer, and I think anytime a country singer sings national anthem, it goes over like I think 70+% of the time. So I'm with you on the over for the anthem.
Nice. Now the second part of this, and I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to watch the game at. What's the move for the Super Bowl? Is it one of those things like there's two parts to this question. Number 1, do you go to like a Super Bowl party? Do you host it? And then like there's a lot of like nuances. What are the advantages and disadvantages of going to a Super Bowl party? Or do you go to a random bar to watch the game? Do you go to the casino? What are you guys doing for the Super Bowl?
Vegas, baby.
Oh, you are. That's right. Damn it. I just set myself up.
Yeah,
Vegas, baby.
I'll be in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Boy, I fucked up. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh my god, I could just go for being in the water and being in the water. I haven't taken my shirt off at a beach in years, but I want to go to the pool, swimming around circa. Do you know where you're gonna go watch the game at yet, Josh?
No. Oh yeah, no. We got a little party set up at Caesar's Palace, I guess.
Ooh, not a bad spot at all. I love that. Have fun with that. JP, where are you watching the game at, buddy?
Probably me in my living room, fellas. It's the last football game of the year. Really like to relish it in and kind of reflect on the season and be a little sad afterward that it's all over.
Yeah. Well, going back to what JK was saying, I believe this is a game that like you just want to sit back and watch too. Like you don't want to miss too much of it. There's bathroom breaks. Sorry for the commercials they put out, but bathroom breaks have to be during commercials because you don't want to miss too much of this Super Bowl game.
Yeah. Now, I'll let you guys pick. I'll be the three-way tie, but I was thinking, do I get high for this game or do I just drink? Josh, what should I do? Should I get high or drink for this game?
Whatever keeps you on your toes. How about that?
JP, what do you say?
I'd say you hit the drinks.
Excellent. Well, looks like we're gonna drink and maybe do some mushrooms. So that's what I'm gonna do for my Super Bowl party.
My last pick for this game, I can't believe the odds are even what they are. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, boys, at plus 130. Lock it in.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what team wins, I believe it's going to be the quarterback grabbing that MVP.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts is also plus 130.
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody's going for MVP, I believe you got to pick one of them. The only way somebody else is going to get it is if they catch all the touchdowns or get all the yards, and they have to totally outperform the quarterback to a ridiculous extent to get it.
Yeah,
so, I think that your Mahomes pick for MVP. I have something really interesting to tell you. I honestly think I see a scenario, which I wish you could like hedge this, but I can see Mahomes still being the Super Bowl MVP even in a Chiefs loss.
Interesting.
That's fucking crazy, but I honestly believe that in my heart of hearts.
Like, nothing would be unreal if that happened.
Is that even possible? Have they ever given it to the other team?
Well, I think it has happened before. We'd have to look that up, but like the one time it should have happened, and it's a travesty. Terrell Owens should have been the Super Bowl MVP in that loss to the Patriots. He was on one leg and he went for like 9 and like 120. It was fucking sick, dude. PU, most legendary Super Bowl performance I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm on half a leg and they can't stop me. That was so powerful. It got me fired up, man. I wish T.O. was playing in this, but he's not. But who are we rooting for? Rooting for?
I'm rooting for Philadelphia personally, but I do think that the way that the script and narrative, I think, points for the future of the league, I think has to be Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes would be the 5th quarterback ever to have 2 or more Super Bowl MVPs, and he's only 27 years old. I think they're really opening their mouths for him, and it's just hard to say that that's not how it's going to go.
Josh, what were you saying?
I'm rooting for all my picks to win. That's what I'm rooting for. I don't necessarily have a favorite to win, or I don't even know if I'm necessarily betting a favorite to win. I mean, I'm sure I will, but like I'm mostly going from a lot of these prop bets. So as long as they're hitting. So the tight ends, what I'm hoping for is both tight ends that have a nice day, because I'm gonna put some.
Be careful on Kelsey, buddy. I just think it's one of those things where Kelsey's like could be invisible. They're like his mom's in the stands. He only has 1 catch for like 13 yards right now. Like what I mean. How many times have we seen that before too?
My biggest thing with Kelsey is just a 1 touchdown. So that's literally just 1 catch. That's literally just 1 catch. It could be 1 yard. It could be 20 yards. I don't care. I just need 1 Kelsey touchdown.
That's safe. I like your Goddard. I really like your Goddard thing. I think Goddard probably pays better too.
Yeah, but what was it, JP? I believe you said like 175.
175.
Yeah. So
by the way, boys. Chuck Howley, only ever NFL player to score or to receive a Super Bowl MVP despite his team losing. Linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow. A linebacker.
Fact checker, wow. JP Irons.
Wow. How long ago was that?
Jeez. This would have been Super Bowl 5. Super Bowl V is 5, right? Roman numeral 5?
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We're only going to pick the MVP of the winning team.
1961.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. They're not going to give the MVP to somebody that doesn't win.
To a linebacker.
Mahomes could be it. Mahomes could be it, though, gentlemen. It could be a couple touchdowns spread throughout, and Mahomes very well could be. The storylines for me on the 2 games, because I asked the question originally, I'll wrap it up with this, is that, look, Mahomes. I said to somebody a couple of days ago, real matter of factly, that he's the only quarterback that's ever going to be able to maybe get as many as Brady. For his record and for him to do that, he needs to get this win. You don't want to keep going to the dance and losing. But then for the Eagles, this is another thing too. Like, hey, the Eagles had such a good year. If they won the Super Bowl, none of us would be shocked. But I don't think any of us are rooting for the Eagles to get back again. So they're here. Either way, it's a pretty cool scenario. No matter who wins this, Mahomes gets another one, gets to chase Brady, or Jalen Hurts gets his. The Eagles win, and then we can root against the Eagles for the rest of the decade.
All right. Well, that's the show. Go back and check out all the picks. Anybody listening? Official graphic picks will be released also this weekend, and then we will be back next weekend with some NBA talk.
Good. In the meantime, go check out Tom Brady's latest picture on Twitter, dude. We can have a podcast just off that alone. Bizarre.
All right, boys. It's been a great another episode of the Good Super Bowl episode, and catch you guys next week.